Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be taking a look at something I think is super interesting, Carl Jung's theory of archetypes.
Ooh, yeah.
Have you ever felt like you just
Oh, yeah.
really connect with certain movie characters, like they just
Oh,
click with you? Well, Jung might say that that's because they're tapping into these like universal and innate patterns that we all share.
right.
It's in all of us. And these archetypes, well, they can unlock some serious self-awareness. And today we're going to find out just how they do that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We got tons of research, articles, and we are ready to break down these major archetypes
Yeah.
and find out how they affect our lives, everything from our career choices to that weird recurring dream you keep having.
That's right. Jung believed that underneath our individual awareness, like way down there, lies a deeper layer of the psyche,
Okay.
and that is the collective unconscious.
Whoa.
Think of it like a reservoir of experiences and patterns that are just passed down through all of humanity.
Right. Wow. Okay.
And archetypes, those are like the recurring characters in this big old collective drama of humanity,
Interesting.
influencing our thoughts, our behaviors, even the stories that we're drawn to.
Okay. Collective unconscious.
Yeah,
That sounds kind of heady.
it is a little bit.
Could you give us like a real world example of that? Like how would I see this, in my
Gee.
daily life?
Let's say you're at a party, right?
Okay.
And you see someone get up to tell a story.
Uh-huh.
Everyone just leans in,
I've seen that happen.
captivated, right? Because on some level, we are all wired to respond to certain narratives,
Interesting.
certain character types.
Okay.
This storyteller might be embodying the trickster archetype, using humor, wit to engage the crowd.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe they're channeling the sage,
Ooh.
offering wisdom and insight.
Yeah.
That resonates on a really deep level.
Right.
These archetypal patterns, they're at play all around us,
That's cool.
often without us even realizing it.
That's fascinating. So it's like these archetypes are like this hidden language that we all speak,
Exactly.
even if we don't know the grammar rules.
That's a great way to put it.
Ehe.
And by learning to recognize these archetypes, we can begin to understand ourselves and others on a much deeper level.
Okay, I'm ready to meet some of these characters.
Huh? Yeah.
Let's start with one that we all know. The hero.
Classic.
We see these heroes everywhere, from Luke Skywalker to Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, all over.
What is it about this archetype that just grabs us?
The hero, it resonates with us
Mm-hmm.
because it speaks to our inherent desire for transformation and growth.
Okay.
They face trials, they confront their fears, and ultimately they emerge changed.
Right.
And this journey reflects our own desire to overcome challenges
Yeah.
and become the best versions of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Think about your own life. Haven't there been times when you felt that pull to step up,
I think so.
to be brave,
Totally.
even when it was scary? That's the hero archetype stirring within you.
I love that.
It's in all of us.
Okay, that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But heroes, they're rarely perfect.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Right. They often have like a darker side to them.
Yeah.
Flaws that they have to kind of wrestle with.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the shadow, right?
You got it.
Oh, good.
The shadow is everything that we try to hide, the parts of ourselves that we deem unacceptable
Right.
or fear.
Yeah.
And in stories, this is often like the villain,
Mm-hmm.
like Darth Vader.
Okay.
But in real life, it's our own jealousy, our anger, those less than ideal impulses that we all have.
We've all got them.
We all have them.
Yeah. So how do we deal with this shadow without, going full Darth Vader?
Well,
Like
yeah.
the sources that we read mention that this is actually like key to personal growth.
Absolutely.
So how does that work?
It's about integration.
Hmm.
Imagine trying to just ignore a part of yourself. It doesn't just go away. It
Uh-huh.
festers.
Oh,
It can manifest in these unhealthy ways,
okay.
but by acknowledging our shadow,
Hmm.
understanding its roots,
Yeah.
we can actually harness its energy.
Whoa. Okay.
Take anger, for example.
Okay.
Instead of denying it,
Hmm.
could you channel it into setting healthy boundaries
Oh, interesting.
or fighting for a cause that you really believe in?
Okay. That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah.
So facing our shadow isn't about like
Right.
becoming some goody two shoes.
No,
It's about,
it's not about that.
yeah.
No.
It's about becoming more,
It's about wholeness. More
self-aware. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we all have that light and dark within us.
Okay.
And by integrating those aspects, we become more balanced,
Makes sense.
more capable of navigating the complexities of life.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how these archetypes are more than just cool concepts,
They really are.
They're practical tools for understanding ourselves.
Yeah.
But a hero, wouldn't they be lost without a wise guide?
Totally.
What about the mentor archetype?
Oh, yeah.
We see them all the time, from Gandalf to Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, yeah.
What's their role in this inner journey?
Well, the mentor represents wisdom, guidance, and the passing down of knowledge.
Okay.
And they often appear in stories at these really crucial moments,
Right.
offering advice
Ah.
or helping the protagonist tap into their hidden potential.
Yeah.
Think about it. Haven't you ever had like a teacher, a friend, or even a book
Totally.
that offered you exactly the insight that you needed at a specific time?
Yeah.
That could be the mentor archetype at work, both within you
Yeah.
and through those external sources.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So we've met the hero, the shadow, and the mentor.
Yeah.
All these powerful archetypes, they shape our stories. But here's the thing.
What's that?
We're not just watching these stories.
Yeah.
We're living them.
So how do we figure out which archetypes are driving our actions?
Our choices.
Our choices, yeah.
It's like you become an archaeologist of your own life, right?
Okay.
You got to start by looking for patterns.
Mm.
What kind of stories are you just drawn to?
Mm-hmm.
What roles do you tend to play in groups,
Uh-huh.
in relationships? Which characters, fictional or real, really resonate with you?
Okay.
Those are often clues
Mm.
to the archetypes that are most active in your psyche.
So if I find myself gravitating towards documentaries about adventurers and explorers,
Yeah.
maybe that's a sign that the explorer archetype is strong in me.
Yeah.
And if I always, seem to be the one mediating conflicts in my friend group,
Uh-huh.
perhaps the peacemaker is a dominant force.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it's not about boxing ourselves in.
Right.
We all embody multiple archetypes,
Yeah.
and they can shift and change depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
The key is to become aware of these patterns
Yeah.
so that we can make conscious choices
Right.
about how we want to express them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about, those times where we feel stuck? Like we're
Yeah.
playing the same role over and over,
Yeah.
even when it's not really serving us well.
Right. Right.
The sources mentioned something about using archetypes for growth.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Understanding our archetypes
Yeah.
can be a powerful catalyst for personal transformation.
Hmm.
Let's say you're someone who always takes on the caregiver role,
Okay.
always putting other people's needs before your own.
Right.
That's a beautiful quality.
Yeah.
But if it's not balanced,
Yeah.
it can lead to burnout and resentment.
Right. Yeah.
Recognizing this pattern allows you to set healthier boundaries,
Okay.
to cultivate self-care,
Uh-huh.
to realize that you can't pour from an empty cup.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's like by understanding our default settings,
Right.
we can start to rewrite the program, become more adaptable and resilient.
Absolutely.
But this all seems a little abstract.
Sure.
Could you give us a concrete example
Of course.
of how someone might use this like in their life?
Mhm. Imagine someone who's struggling with indecisiveness,
Okay.
constantly second-guessing themselves.
Right.
They might identify with the everyman archetype,
Mm.
seeking approval,
Yeah.
wanting to blend in.
Right.
By understanding this pattern,
Mm.
they can start to explore the root of their indecision.
Okay.
Is it fear of failure?
Right.
Lack of confidence?
Yeah.
By working with the everyman's desire for connection,
Mm.
they could seek out a mentor
Oh.
or a supportive community
Okay.
to help them find their voice and make decisions with more confidence.
So it's about using the archetype's energy as a springboard for growth,
Yeah,
not letting it define us or limit our potential.
exactly.
Okay.
Archetypes are like tools in a toolbox, right?
Mm.
We can learn to use them strategically, depending on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And the more we understand our own unique archetypal toolkit,
Right.
the more empowered we become
Mm.
in navigating life's challenges and opportunities.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Yeah.
But let's go back to the shadow for a minute.
Okay.
You mentioned integration, but how do we actually do that?
That's the question, isn't it?
It sounds kind of intimidating,
It can be.
facing those darker parts of ourselves.
It's not about conquering or banishing the shadow.
Okay.
It's about understanding it. and integrating it.
Right.
Think of it like taming a wild horse.
Okay.
You don't want to break its spirit, you know?
Right.
You want to learn to work with its energy,
Mm.
to channel its power.
Yeah.
Therapy can be incredibly helpful for this.
Okay.
It provides a safe space to explore those shadow aspects.
Right.
Journaling, meditation, creative expression.
Uh-huh.
These can all be powerful tools
Yeah.
for bringing those unconscious patterns into the light of awareness.
It sounds like a journey, not a quick fix.
It is a journey.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder about the role of those aha moments.
Yes.
Those like sudden realizations we have about ourselves.
Totally.
Do those play a role in this integration process?
Absolutely. Those aha moments, they're like breakthroughs in our self-understanding.
Right.
They can happen during therapy,
Yeah.
during quiet reflection,
Mm.
or even in the midst of everyday life.
Oh, interesting.
Pay attention to those moments when something clicks into place.
Okay.
When you suddenly see a pattern that you hadn't noticed before.
Hmm.
Those are often signs
Okay.
that your unconscious is trying to communicate with you,
Oh, wow.
offering insights that can guide you on your path of growth.
Wow. It's amazing how much we've learned about ourselves just by exploring these archetypes.
I know, right?
We talked about the hero, the shadow, the mentor,
Mm.
but it feels like we've just, scratched the surface.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like there's so much more to uncover.
There's a whole universe of archetypes out there,
Really?
each with its own unique set of, gifts and challenges.
Okay.
The creator, for example, embodies that drive to bring something new into the world,
Mm.
while the ruler seeks to create order and structure.
Okay.
The innocent yearns for paradise
Uh-huh.
and sees the good in everyone,
All right.
while the rebel, they challenge the status quo
Mm.
and fight for change.
Wow. There's so many.
There are, yeah.
It makes me wonder, can these archetypes help us to understand
Oh, yeah.
not just ourselves, but our relationships with other people too?
Absolutely. Think about it.
Okay.
Conflicts often arise when different archetypal energies clash.
Ooh. Okay.
Let's say someone with a strong caregiver archetype
Uh-huh.
is in a relationship with someone who, embodies the lone wolf.
Okay. I can see that.
The caregiver might feel stifled
Yeah.
by the lone wolf's need for independence,
Right.
while the lone wolf might feel suffocated by the caregiver's constant attention.
That makes sense.
So,
So understanding these archetypes could actually help us to navigate those differences.
totally.
And maybe even find ways to
Appreciate them.
appreciate them. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not about trying to change each other, right?
Right.
It's about recognizing those underlying patterns
Right.
and finding ways to create harmony.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the caregiver learns to give the lone wolf the space they need,
Yeah.
while the lone wolf makes an effort to, express appreciation for the caregiver's nurturing nature.
Mm.
It's about finding that delicate balance.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah.
Like having the secret decoder ring for relationships.
That's a great way to put it.
It makes me think about all the times I've, felt misunderstood or frustrated with someone. And maybe it wasn't about, personality clashes, but about these deeper
archetypal energies at play.
archetypal energy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a powerful shift in perspective, for sure.
Totally.
Instead of taking things personally,
Yeah.
we can start to see those conflicts as opportunities for growth,
Okay.
for understanding,
Yeah.
and for much deeper connection.
Okay. One last thing before we wrap up.
Sure.
The sources kept, emphasizing that this is all about personal growth, about becoming, better versions of ourselves.
Right.
But how do we actually use these archetypes
Yeah.
to make those changes happen?
It's about becoming conscious creators of our own lives. Once you recognize the archetypes that are most prominent for you,
Okay.
you can start to make intentional choices
Right.
about how you want to express them.
Okay.
Let's say you're someone with a strong rebel archetype. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of letting that rebellious energy
Yeah.
manifest in, destructive ways,
Hmm.
could you channel it into activism,
Oh.
into challenging outdated systems,
Okay.
into being a voice for those who need one?
That's really inspiring.
Yeah.
It's like we're not just passive players in this
Right.
archetypal drama. We have the power to direct our own stories.
Exactly. And it's a journey of continuous discovery.
Yeah.
As we grow and evolve,
Hmm.
different archetypes might come to the forefront,
Okay.
challenging us in new ways.
Right.
The key is to just stay curious, keep exploring,
Yeah.
to remember that we all have the potential
Mm.
to become the heroes of our own lives.
This has been such an awesome deep dive.
It has to.
We've explored the power of archetypes.
Yeah.
You know how they shape our lives, our relationships,
Yeah.
and our potential for growth?
It's been great.
I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for understanding myself and the world around me.
Me too.
Yeah.
And remember, this is just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole world of resources out there waiting to be explored.
Totally.
Books, workshops, even Jungian analysts who can help you go even deeper into this field.
So as we wrap up here. Yeah.
Here's a final thought to leave you with.
Okay.
If you were to choose a movie character that represents you right now,
Ooh,
who would it be and why?
that's a good one.
Think about those qualities that resonate with you.
Yeah.
The challenges that they face, the journey that they're on. This might just reveal something insightful about your own dominant archetypes.
I love that.
Until next time, keep exploring those inner landscapes.
Yes.
The journey of self-discovery is an adventure worth taking.